In the 7 days of selling on Etsy, we were able to generate revenue of 7 days ago, I set up a brand new Etsy shop to prove to anybody watching this video that you can make a business that's profitable in only 7 days. And to be honest, the results have absolutely blown me away. You're going to want to watch this one all the way until the end, as this week we're talking about how much money we made in a single week selling on Etsy, and spoiler alert, it is actually quite a lot. Now, if you like seeing videos like this one, don't forget to give it a like and subscribe, as it helps us in the YouTube algorithm to get videos like this out there and to help share with you guys new ways to make money online. But let's talk about what happened this week with Etsy and ultimately how you guys can do the same at home. So I wanted to prove to everybody, after I got a comment last week saying it's hard to sell on Etsy for a new seller, I wanted to show everybody that this is something that anyone can do. So I got to work. I set out with an intention, and I wanted to look into what's going to make us the most money. I decided that the best niche was going to be art supplies and craft tools. There's a few reasons for this. The first one is I want to fall within Etsy's guidelines, and you are allowed to sell products that are made by somebody else as long as they fall under a few niche specific categories. However, I do see a lot of shops which are selling stuff out of these categories, but it's up to you if you want to take that risk. But to make the experiment as fair as possible, I wanted to stay within these guidelines. However, I did have one thing which worked to my advantage. I was going to have to dropship these products, and the simple reason for that is it would allow me to get a lot more in terms of catalogue, and I wouldn't have to waste any money up front to make sure I have any sales. So just like that, I set about with my new Etsy shop. I got to work creating the store, which wasn't too hard, and put up quite a few listings. I aimed for about 5 to 10 listings per day, and I was able to hit this on every single day apart from one, but I made up for it the next day. After the 7-day period, I ended up with a total of 46 listings, so we can do the maths on that one, and actually we had quite a few sales. Now I'm going to get to the figures in just a moment, but let me explain exactly what happened through the week and why we did so well first. Now I think Etsy is one of the sales channels which people often see as a massive waste of time. Many people don't make sales on Etsy, many people don't make a lot of sales on Etsy. Now I have run 2 different Etsy shops in the past. One was only last month, and actually I ran another short one for a few weeks before that, but before that I had another Etsy shop where I made a couple of sales per week. Now what I would say about Etsy is 2 key things. Unlike eBay, where you really can start making thousands of pounds in your first day, week or month depending on how hard you work, Etsy is more of a snowball effect. You can make a lot of money in the first 7 days, as I'm about to show you guys, but it's one of those things where you have to kind of build up to it a bit more and build up a star seller status and all that sort of stuff. It really helps you to have a lot more listings on your site as well. So what were the results after the 7 days? What did we actually achieve? Did we make a lot of money, or was it just a clickbait title? Well, it was not a clickbait title, and we did actually make quite a lot of money in the 7-day period. So let me talk to you about the statistics that we faced this week. So in terms of how our site's gone, in the past week we've had 109 views on our listings, we have had a total of 3 orders, and we've had a total of 63 site visits. Now 3 orders might not sound like a lot, and it might sound like I've just wasted you guys time with this video, but I didn't tell you about what the price of these orders were. You see, when I was selling on Etsy this time, I had a strategy. I wanted to sell items for a more high markup. Last time we made a decent amount, but I think with Etsy we really have that potential to push the borders, and we can make more than say £5 or £10 per sale. I wanted to make between roughly £15 and £30 per sale. That way we'd have to sell a lot less items in terms of quantity to make a lot more money. And actually that strategy did surprisingly pay off. In the 7 days of selling on Etsy, we were able to generate revenue of £94.99, and I'll put the dollar equivalent to that on screen right now. So honestly, for 7 days, that's not bad for a first week in a business. We made £100 in the first week of running an Etsy shop. And again, these figures, if you work on it the same amount every single week, will just grow and grow and grow. And if you keep watching this channel, you'll know that we have eBay shops, YouTube channels, and all different sorts of businesses that we invest in, make money with, so that we can have multiple streams of income replacing our primary job. However, what we haven't spoken about yet is the profit that we made on Etsy. We talked about the revenue, but how much of that did we actually get to keep in terms of profit? Well, let's break down the figures with some data that I have over here. So as I said, our total revenue for the time period was about £95. Now straight away out of that £95, we had to pay Etsy fees, which were around £14.43. It then cost us a further £36.19 to pay for each of our items. However, with that being said, we still actually got to keep a really nice profit figure, which was a profit of about £44. £44.37 was our exact profit figure. However, one thing that I must say is per listing on Etsy, unlike some other sites, you have have to pay a 20-cent fee for every listing that you want to put up before it even sells an item. Now, because of that, we had to spend a little bit more money, so our actual profit figures were £37.65 as a total, but still not bad for 1 week and barely any work. Before the 20-cent fee, we had a profit margin of about 46.7%, and after it we had a profit margin of about 39.7%, so almost 40% of all revenue that we got we were able to keep in terms of profit. Now, in terms of our actual sales value, our first sale was for £27.50, our second sale was for about £30, and our third sale was closer to £40, so we got to keep some hefty profits in there, the first profit being £11.11 exactly, the second one being around £15.92, and the third one being around £17.34. So if you ask me, pretty good results. Really, this is obtainable to anybody. You can do this right now. You can start making money, hundreds of pounds per week or more, because like I say, this will snowball. And if you look at our first Etsy videos on the channel, look at how quick we made progress this time with a new account. We made sales in the first week amounting to over $100. In the first week of the first account, we barely made any sales. In fact, I don't think we made one. This just goes to show that education is what it takes to make a lot of money online. And once you start to know this stuff, you can make even more as time goes on. That's why I say you guys should always be researching new ideas, and that's why I'm always doing it myself. So would I recommend this Etsy side hustle? Honestly, I would. If you have an eBay shop already, an Amazon shop, or if you're even thinking about getting into a new sales channel, whether it's for your first time or not, I would probably go with eBay first because I think it's a lot easier and you can make quicker profits and bigger profits. And if you're trying to start a business initially, you want to get that money rolling in as fast as possible. But would I recommend Etsy? Yes. I think it's a great sales channel. I think if you know what you're doing and if you want to do it alongside eBay or as a substitute for eBay, if you have, some niche items that you want to sell, it's probably the best site out there to do that. You can make easy money, you can make a lot of money, and it's probably a very easy place to start for somebody looking to enter the reselling business. Unlike Amazon where you have a lot to do, this is quite simple, quite straightforward, and anyone can wrap their heads around this. Bear in mind, to do all this work, to make this money, we only had to spend about maybe 30 to 40 minutes per day maximum listing items, fulfilling orders. It was extremely simple, probably even easier than eBay to do the work because we had to just, get the pictures and ask ChatGPT for a description. You make a bit less money than eBay, I think, on average. However, in terms of easiness, it is definitely up there. So what would my advice be to anybody looking to start an Etsy shop and start making big profits in this next week? I'd say a few things to anybody looking to get into the game. The first one would be, understand that this takes time and it is a numbers game. So whilst we made a lot of money in the first week, look at what we had. We had nearly 50 listings on the site. That's not an insubstantial amount, it's quite a lot. Just like any good sales channel, the best way to get purchasers is to have eyes on your listings. And with Etsy, it's fairly easy to do this. You just have to stay in the algorithm's good books. And the way I recommend to do this is by trying to list every single day, make sure your listings are very well optimized, good descriptions, good titles, good tags, and all that sort of stuff, including good price points. Pick a niche that you're comfortable with, pick a niche that's fairly profitable, and if you are dropshipping, make sure products can get to the customers fairly quickly. Another thing that I would say with Etsy that I wouldn't really agree with for eBay is expect a lot of international orders. On this account, I've had orders from Australia, I've had orders from America, and only one order from the UK, so basically, out of the 3 orders that we've had. So you get orders from all over the world, and that's something that you don't necessarily have with eBay so much, so I'd definitely be looking, if I was dropshipping, can my supplier get it to all of these different countries that may be interested, because that might actually happen to you. However, this week's side hustle idea really did work. Will I be continuing with Etsy? I absolutely will. For the first time I did the print on demand business with Etsy, I wasn't too sure whether I liked it, and honestly I had to close that idea because it just wasn't working, it was too much work. This, however, is fairly easy. Again, we can use ChatGPT and already existing pictures and items to sell. We can get them to the customer fairly quickly, and we can make a markup for the privilege of doing so. So I hope this episode, just like all of the others that we've been uploading in this series, proves a point. The point being that anybody can make money. If you have a connection to the internet, you can start making money basically today. If not today, then later this week at some point. It's extremely easy to get these sales channels moving. So if you enjoy learning about making money online from all different ideas, looking at what we do, where we win, where we lose, the trial, the error, do please subscribe to this channel, as I do appreciate every new subscriber and it does help to get the message out there. And of course, it allows us to make make more elaborate projects, as I know that you guys are enjoying the series. Anyway, thank you so much for watching this one, and again, do make sure to stay motivated and trying with your goals. You can honestly achieve any of this stuff if you keep working to make it happen, and Etsy has been a great and phenomenal experience that I think anybody should get started in for the late part of 2023 and into 2024. Thank you so much, I hope you enjoyed, and again, see you soon, goodbye for now.